Nature's Wrath, 200 miles across the Scottish Highlands. The Cape Wrath Trail, known as the toughest long-distance hike in the UK. The only way to know though was to try it for myself. The hike starts in the Scottish Highlands at Fort William and finishes at the Cape Wrath Lighthouse on the remote far northwestern coast. Over 200 miles in the UK's toughest terrain. This was about to be epic. I'm Liam, by the way. It was vital for me to be self-supported, carrying all the food, water and gear in my pack. I was going to have to get used to having wet feet 12 hours a day. I really needed to be on top of my game here. But it's not all bad. The Highlands of Scotland are beautiful and as remote as it gets. Sounds like my kind of challenge. One minute you could be down in a peaceful glen. The next you're on top of a wind-swept mountain pass with the worst weather you could imagine. It's in places like this you find yourself. You see what you're made of. For me, being in the outdoors doesn't get any better. Oh, I am excited for this one. I took a short ferry ride over to the start point of the Cape Wrath Trail. I usually like taking a pebble along with me to throw in the sea at the end, so that's what I did. I got a view of Ben Nevis in the background, the UK's highest mountain. I should have brought sun cream. What is this? So you can see on my back, I'm carrying around 18 kilos with about 5 or 6 days worth of food. I've got 10 main meals. And the plan is to try and complete this walk, the Cape Wrath Trail, in, I wanted to do 10 days, but I think that's really pushing it. So if I can do it in 12, I'll be happy. Yeah, if I can take some main roads along the way to try and get that time down, I will, to avoid some bogs. But there's actually no established trail, just lots of interconnecting ones and make it up as you go. So yeah, I've done a little bit of research, just enough to hopefully survive it. The plan is in about 5 or 6 days, resupply my food. I'm only carrying 600 millilitres of water, just a little bottle. So I have my water filter, as you can hear, the river right there. So I can just go in, filter it, drink straight from the bottle. So that way I can just keep the weight down and not carry as much. There are boffies along the way, so if I ever get too wet and I need to dry my gear out, I can go in there, try and make a fire. But forest like this will be non-existent. You go through lots of moorland, glen, and lots of bog. For most of the day I'll be following the river, heading up into the mountains. With this good weather, a slow worm was catching the rays. I passed by him carefully. Nature was starting to blossom, even this far north in the UK. One good thing about bringing my heavy pack was I could just use it as a seat. I drank my water right next to the river. I was trying to break in my new trail runners. The path made that super easy. I'd pass by places like this. They're called boffies up in Scotland. Places for people to get out of the elements when it's bad. Luckily, the weather was great. Staying hydrated was my number one priority, so I helped myself to some more fresh Highland water. This camp spot was really too good to turn down. Before coming up to Scotland, I made sure to patch up any holes in my tent. It was ready to handle any weather. The season was still early, so I wouldn't have to worry about the dreaded midge. My tent could be left open. On the menu was chicken tikka with rice. A hot meal at the end of a grueling day was going to be vital. The golden sunlight was a perfect opportunity for a quick picture. With how well the first day went, I knew this wasn't a true reflection of what was to come on the Cape Wrath Trail. The sound of the river was perfect for a great night's sleep. I was excited to pack away and get walking. I had a wash in the river and filled my water bottle up. I left camp behind knowing that this could be as good as it gets. It was the perfect campsite. Good morning. Woke up to the sun shining through the tent. A rarity in Scotland. Thank you, Valley. What a place. So I'm heading along the 4x4 trail. Eventually, I'm pretty sure this is going to run out, so I'm just making the most of it. The next few days while I'm rested, now is the time to get the miles in. Do as much as possible while the mood's good. But also day by day, my pack will get lighter until I resupply on day 5 or 6. So yeah, I just got to keep going, keep my head down, enjoy nature. The track eventually ran out and made way for a small trail which headed right into the mountains. My legs were fresh, so I was really enjoying this part. Eventually, I descended down into a place called Glenfinnan. Apparently, it was pretty famous. This was the viaduct that was in Harry Potter. How cool is that? I spent some time looking at it and then I headed off. I spotted my first wild deer in Scotland. I'm sure I'd see plenty more. Whenever I can, I try to add a rock to the pile. I'm having fun. Shoes are surprisingly dry. Probably just jinxed it, but it's a lot of this, bog, wet, a lot of dodging, skipping from rock to rock. Oh. Yeah. Luckily I got across the bog, but up here I noticed small streams of water would transform into fast flowing rivers. Okay, I've gone the wrong way. I went that way around for about a mile. I had to come this way and then up that way. So I've got to cross this, which sucks. Oh no. At least it's clear, I can see. Let's hope it's not slippy. Oh, it is. Shit. All right. And that is a waterfall. Yes. Get me out of here quick. Just take a look at this forest on the side of the hill. Just random. Completely random in the middle of nowhere. Man, that's such a good sight. The hills are so bleak. The wind whips through here bad. Okay, let's get down. I think there's a 4x4 track down there, so I'm easy walking for a little bit. I'm just gonna test something. Can you imagine falling in that bog? Oh, let's see how far it goes. Maybe it's not bad. Yeah. Alright, this is full on bog now. Feet. I just soaked, it went up to there. I think I'm supposed to be somewhere over there, but Oh, this is luxury. The road really was amazing. My feet quickly dried off. Even though I needed to cover the miles, I still took time to stop and appreciate nature. The bothy in the distance looked promising, but there was smoke coming from the chimney, which meant someone was in there. I decided to look for a camp just outside. After all them miles, it felt so good to be in bed. I'd be leaving the forest behind for the next day or so, and made sure to take it in. I'm well and truly in the mountains today. Strangely enough though, there's like a 4x4 trail right here, almost like a bulldozer track with a bucket. So maybe they're making an established trail. That would be good, because all this bog is getting quite annoying now. No way. Hello, mate. What are you doing up here? Go on. I'm glad I didn't step on him. I was so tempted to take a boat across the loch. The water seems so still. Just some deer over there. They blend in so well. Oh wow, somewhere down there there's a guy who actually passed me. He must be an hour ahead of me, and I finally caught him up, which is good going. Okay, keep this pace up. Each valley kept getting better and better. It felt like I was playing a video game, hopping from island to island. It's always good to have a little fun. I found a really secluded bothy, so I had a look inside. Just set off from the bothy. I was there for about 5 minutes and then 3 other lads came over. So I just got speaking and we were all doing the Cape Raft Trail, so good luck to them. One of them, I think his name was Sonny, he said this is his first big kind of trail he's ever done. The previous, he's only done like a 2-3 dayer, so yeah, good luck to him. It's a tough first one. Yeah, it was a nice stop, so I was there for about half an hour. I feel rejuvenated, hydrated, and I'm fed, so just, now that the tide's out, it's actually possible to get around the headland. And it cuts off a good chunk of walking. I was so lucky the tide was out. With all the rivers and streams in the Highlands, I had to cross many bridges just like this one. It was the perfect opportunity to fill my water bottle and have a quick wash, so that's what I did. This mountain looks pretty small, but let me tell you, it was so tough. The path was gone and I struggled to find a route. Oh man, I'm nearly overheating. Took the wrong turn. Basically, I'm trying to get across this mountain. And I went kind of like 100 meters down below me. I've had to come all the way up. My legs are killing. Oh. So I've got no water. And there's no kind of streams up here, so I'm just gonna have to go over it quickly and then get down so I can fill up. Just had to take a seat. So that was tough. Some good views though. After a couple hours though, I made it across. I was in desperate need of electrolytes, so I made myself a drink. I was near the coast and the smell of the fresh sea air filled my lungs. I was looking for a place to camp and this place ticked all the boxes. Silence. Oh, it's a secluded beach. So this is actually called a sea lock. I'm pretty sure it's one of like an inlet basically. It comes quite of the way in. Whew. Feels good to just walk on flat ground. I'm gonna soak my feet, wash my trainers and socks just to get all of the bog out of them. Oh man, what a day. This is paradise. That was a seriously tough day. Probably the toughest. The past 3 days I've pushed myself to the max just to try and get the miles in. I really want to do it in 10 days. I don't even know if it's humanly possible. But if I compare myself to like the actual guidebook, I think I'm about a day and a half ahead. This is just day 3. Tomorrow will be day 4, so I'm definitely ahead, but it's so tough. That mountain was terrible. I'm just glad to be down because the contrast of it is crazy. You could not make it up. The way it's just happened. This place is magical. A hearty beef stew was absolutely needed. Feet check. They look a lot worse than they are. I just naturally like peel, just my layer of skin, so whenever it gets wet, it just looks way worse. But yeah, I'm going to powder my feet soon, just to dry them out. And while I'm in my tent, I can just air them. Got a couple blisters. I think it's because I'm just kind of breaking in them shoes, but I'm going to put some like tape over them tomorrow when I start. Blisters suck, but you got to do what you got to do. If you are squeamish, I'd look away now. Ow. I watched the sunset from my tent, happy to be dry and well fed. Good morning. Last night, stepped outside my tent, looked up, and it was a clear night. Thousands of stars, could not believe it. Just the view of the universe is totally different when you're in a zero light pollution area like this. Just so many of them. I stood there for about 10 minutes just in awe. But I slept good. Legs feel good enough. So today it's just another one, get the head down, get the miles in. Following along a lock for about 6 miles. The lock seemed to have so many environments growing around it. It was just like walking through a rainforest. The route was taking me back into the mountains, but just before that, I got a pleasant surprise. A small tea room was open, so I indulged. I managed to play some fetch with the local dog too. Good dog. Those calories were absolutely needed. So with my stomach full, the mountains and the incline awaited. It's so easy just to keep your head down, getting in the miles. But in places like this, you have to take it all in. There's a steep incline coming up. Gotta get all the way up there. If the trail's like this, it's fine. But if it goes off, it's gonna be difficult. Whoa. Man, you could break your leg on that. There's literally a stream here, it's just grown over it. But any weight, you could go through that. Gotta be careful. I honestly never knew so many deer existed in Scotland. Ahead of me was the Falcon Ridge, one of the highest points on the trail at around 700 metres. This spot seemed to go very slow. Every step I needed to take, it had to be perfect. It finally started to drizzle, so the waterproofs went on. It didn't last long though. Luckily, I was full of energy from the meal earlier. I was racking up the miles, even in this demanding terrain. Just down there was a campsite, which meant showers. I didn't even have to boil my own water. I felt so lazy. There was a store just down the road, so that's where I headed. I found a spot with a bench and I enjoyed the view. I think I've spotted Nessie, just there. I got myself a local breakfast pie. It was so good. It started to rain a little bit, not too bad though. So I'm just following the coast. There's lots of sea locks just to my left. The smell of the ocean is in the air, I love it. It's a nice change from all the smelly bogs and the road, the tracks. Oh, it's good. But no joke, the past, I don't know, 2-3 hours, I've seen 6-7 cafes along the way. I've stopped in 4 of them and I've kind of had to stop myself now because I'm wasting too much time. I just want to go in the mall, just relax, get a coffee, tea, something to eat. Such a change from the last 4 days of not seeing anything, literally the mountains. Yeah, it's a nice change of scenery. These were some of the most colourful houses in the UK I'd ever seen. Although I'd still be walking 20 miles along the roads, I was able to rest my legs and feet. It was so needed. I found a cheap hotel online, so I booked it and made my way there. With my power banks low, it was the perfect time to recharge them. I aired all my gear out. I double and triple checked it was all good to go for the morning. It is a wet one, so I stopped last night and then it just started to hammer down and the clouds are in. Man, just clean clothes, just a
lots of rest last night, lots of food, good sleep. I'm ready for the next half of the Cape Raft Trail. So I'm just following a road now for about 10 miles towards Kinloch U, and then that's when I jump back on. So lucky to have found that hotel. So cheap as well, for like £40. When the surrounding area, it's like you're talking 150, 200. So yeah, very happy with that. But I'm hoping this weather clears, because the next few days I'm not sure how it's gonna go. It looks like the bog's back. But I've got dry feet. Man, I'm gonna cherish this moment just for the next couple miles.
While walking along the roads, I met a guy named Ewan parked up in his van. He said he recognised me and watches the films, so cheekily I asked him if he could give me a lift to the next town, and that's what he did, so cheers Ewan, mate. It was nice to leave the road and get back into the wilderness. With all this rain, the river was looking pretty scary. I've noticed a lot of the Highlands look like this, featureless heathland. It's great in the sun, but when the weather turns, it is a tough, tough place. Little did I know, but this was one of the many streams I'd have to cross today.
And the bog is back. Oh, I've missed you. It's all pathless now. My feet are just pretty much soaked all the way through. So it's like I never left.
If this doesn't sum up the UK, then I don't know what does.
There's a big possibility these huge boulders would drop there at the end of the last ice age, when the glaciers melted over Britain, especially in the north.
With all this water, I knew exactly what was about to come.
Look how quick the river's going. Oh no, I've got to cross this.
Luckily, I brought a hiking pole to cross rivers just like this.
Oh my god. It's crazy. Oh. Yes. All right, 1 foot, a little bit wet. That's pretty good. This is so rugged.
I had to sit down and had a chocolate bar. I deserved it after that.
Second river crossing of the day, and I'm pretty sure there's a river crossing just a couple miles up that way, so it really is pointless trying to save myself. But I've taken these off. This is like the best part of checked out. It's just gonna be cold, isn't it? Yeah, freezing. Oh man, I would do anything for dry feet right now. All right, well, the worst of it. Aye, aye, aye.
One positive about wet feet is they just can't get any wetter.
I'm supposed to be taking this and then go like left around that peak and then around it. And down there is like a really secluded coffee apparently. It said on the map. But I'm gonna cut that out because somebody's probably in it. I've seen a shortcut that goes literally straight over that all the way around. So I can cut 4 miles off, which is good. Third river crossing of the day. Sun's kind of coming out.
With the sun going down, I desperately needed a flat spot to camp. I managed to rack up over 25 miles during the day. My body was definitely feeling it. I powdered my feet so that they dry out, ready for what Scotland was about to throw at them.
So each morning I just check my legs to make sure there aren't any ticks on, and I think I've just found one. It's only small, so I can either try to get it out with my nails, or I have a tick tool somewhere in there where you can try to pull it out, but they're just so annoying. You can't even feel them. I cannot get over how well I just slept. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the amount of miles I'm doing and just the terrain. I'm just exhausted, but it also could be the sleeping pad. It's just slightly longer and wider. So I will take that. Man, I don't think I've ever slept that well back at home. I don't even remember going to sleep. It's just madness. But yeah, I can barely feel my legs in a good way. No aches. Yeah. Wow.
I'd spend a good few hours traversing these mountains. It seemed to be very slow going. The pathless terrain made it so difficult. I descended into a peaceful valley, a great change of pace. I was walking towards a place called Ullapool, a small town with a few stores. Setting my sights on places with stores and cafes definitely helps. It gives me a new lease of life when I know hot food and drink is just around the corner. Those chips went down a treat, extra salt and vinegar too. Most of the day was spent passing by wind-swept logs, abandoned castle ruins, and listening to the rhythm of my own footsteps. It was late in the evening and a place to camp was needed.
That right there is a tick, and that was just on my leg. Coming through all of that to get to this spot, but hopefully it's worth it.
I seemed to have the whole lock to myself. I felt so fortunate to be here. I woke up energized, knowing each step was taking me closer to the finish line.
Blue skies again. No joke, the sun woke me up at 6:30 this morning. Way too hot to stay in the tent. So I've just been chilling for about an hour and a half in the shade. I'm heading towards a cafe which opens at 11. It's about 9:30 right now. It'll take me about an hour to get there, so I'll just chill at the cafe for half an hour before it opens, get a coffee, and there's some public toilets, so I can get a wash, brush my teeth, fill my bottles up, and see what today brings. But I just checked on my maps and it's 44 miles just over until Cape Wrath, so that's just 2 days walk.
For me, this terrain is so reminiscent of Norway. I always feel like I'm worlds away from the UK this far north. The only people awake, it seemed, was me and the fishermen, so I watched them to see if they caught anything. I hope they did. Small public toilets like this were great. I could get a proper wash.
Today was going so smooth until I seen this. That's a pretty big incline. Oh no. Let's try to get up there.
I eventually got to the top. In comparison to the previous few days, it was only a small hill. But it was worth it. The cafe was close by.
I keep forgetting to get my phone out. I'm not in the moment, I forget. So I got myself a coffee and like 8 pork pies, which is the equivalent of like 1,400 calories or something. So I was a proper fat get. So a coffee, 8 pork pies, some kind of like chicken tikka bites. Oh my. Like half a pint of milk. Oh my god. Crazy. But I need it for all this. But it's about 3 p.m. I'm going to keep following the road. I'm enjoying it.
Some of the mountains in the Highlands do not look natural. Some almost look like a pyramid, which blows my mind. I'd pass a few bothies during the day, but I couldn't reach them across the loch, so I kept on going in search of one.
I'm going to have a look at this place just behind it. If there's any flat spot, I'm going to set my tent up there, hopefully. It's just gone about 7 p.m. in the morning. I go that way up the road, about 5 miles away from the next village. So it's a good time to stop now.
This was as good as it was going to get. I was happy with it though. It was surprisingly still for being on the edge of a loch, something that I may regret. The water was super still. It was so glassy.
Just heading over there because I think there's a pool or some kind of stream, so I can top up my water rather than be dehydrated until tomorrow. I thought, you know what, let's go get some now. But you wouldn't believe it, it's April and it's 5 minutes to 10 at night. It's still so light. It's like, you still got another hour. I cannot believe it.
I went to bed feeling very hydrated. A good decision. Throughout the night, it did not stop raining. I had no choice but to get up early.
I woke up not feeling it this morning. That wind was so bad. I could just hear it all night, so I didn't get much sleep. I think I've got about 26 miles to Cape Wrath Lighthouse, which is like just a day and a bit. Oh, it sounds good to say. I'm literally in the middle of nowhere. This is what the water's going to be like now. It's just going through all this windy stuff.
To put it lightly, this part of the walk was not for me. But it wasn't time for enjoyment. It was about just getting to that finish line. The wind seemed to batter me from all sides. It eventually started to rain too. This was the Scotland I knew. Mother Nature was back for vengeance for the previous good days. In a village called Kinlochbervie, there was some relief. A spa was open, so I filled up on caffeine.
Luckily that spa store was the only store open. There's like 3 cafes there apparently, all shut. Yeah, at least I'm caffeinated now and I've got a bit of energy.
For the next few hours, I just got my head down.
Today's been a long day. Finally made it to the coast, so just above me, these cliffs, I'm trying to hide because the wind is so bad, is a village called Durness. Let me sit down. Oh, my feet, my legs, they are done. So I think I did 16, 17 miles along the road to where I am right now. It was just a lot of nothingness, moors, but I managed to keep my feet dry, which is the best thing about following the road. They're just shot now because of just the flatness. You can't win. But yeah, so when I was at the spa in I think it was Kinlochbervie, the village, two women who were doing the Cape Wrath Trail the same as me actually told me that, so basically when you're doing the Cape Wrath Trail, the last bit, you go through like Kinlochbervie along the beach and then through lots of like bog and stuff like that, and then you get to the lighthouse, and then you usually get a taxi or a bus, and then there's this point where it crosses like a piece of water where you have to get like a little ferry, like a 5-minute ferry. But because of the weather, that ferry now is being cancelled. So the way I came, instead of going around like that way, like if you think of it west way, I came east along the road. I was going to get the ferry and then just follow like the track the bus takes towards the lighthouse. Hopefully that makes sense. But the ferry's now cancelled, so I've got all this way, it's cancelled, and I've got no way of getting to the lighthouse at Cape Wrath, which kind of sucks. So I'm gonna have to end it here. Like unless I go all the way back and then around, and I can't do that. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here. It's kind of like a weird abrupt ending, but it is what it is. It's only like, so if you see around the coast that way, Cape Wrath is pretty much 7 or 8 miles that way. Just a little lighthouse on its own. And that's where the Cape Wrath Trail, like the hikers usually end it. But hey, we do things different around there. I'm glad I got here though. So this is like a really nice beach. Apparently it's like an award-winning one. The wind doesn't seem too bad where I am right now, but as soon as you go out, it's just... But yeah, hey, I got here uninjured. The first like 4, I can barely speak. Like, I've been so cold, that's why I've got this on. Just the wind today, crazy. Yeah, the Cape Wrath Trail is known as the UK's hardest trail, and I definitely see why. I wanted to do it in 10 days. I think today is like is it the 10th day today, maybe? I've lost count, I don't know. Hey, I'm here. I enjoyed it. I like to think though, over there, there's like an unknown about it, the Cape Wrath. Rather than go to the lighthouse and be like underwhelmed, I've never been, so there's still a mystery about it. Maybe that's a good thing. I've got one thing left to do though.
Fun fact, Wrath means turning point in Old Norse. Once the Vikings got round it, they could turn their ships for home.